Well, they handled Gen G with relative ease earlier on today here in their kickoff gauntlet. Now they face a team that was touted as the favourites coming into North America, Space Station Gaming. This is game one by progressive Stumpy Goblin, and I think it's going to be a little closer than the first time we saw Vitality.
Yeah, Space Station, they couldn't deliver domestically, even though we are here in Copenhagen. So they're looking to get it done when we look internationally, but my goodness, did Vitality look hot earlier on. When you look at the record between these two organizations, it's currently 4-1 in favor of Vitality. That goes all the way back to late 2019 with the DreamHack Pro Circuit. So these two have not played each other very often, but Vitality typically getting the better.
Great to see two orgs that have been here a long time in the RLesports scene, in the RLCS, and well, we'll just have to see. Chief Beef was a little concerned if they can really reset themselves. I do like that he thinks I could 1v1 Zen. I entirely agree with that statement as well. But we'll see if they bounce back. Obviously a 4-0 loss yesterday in the North American Open. One grand final shot for Rebellion, but they're back. I'll tell you what, they must have had a pretty good sleep.
First blood falling to reveal. It's a great setup from Diaz. He forces Zen to just track with him. Gets it past him, 50s with Exotic. And Avida's there for the follow-up. We've certainly waited to see what Diaz can do. He is that 1v1 demon when he wants to be, and 3v3 is just about starting to click now.
Fantastic start. You'd expect Vitality to be hot. It's SSG. Oh, they screamed in the warm-up room, but they are on song first 45 seconds.
That's a brilliant play from Diaz here. Force it into a horrible position for Stizzy. Takes that contact, sits still on the train tracks, and Diaz absolutely blasts through. 2 for SSG in 45.
We had a fantastic EU Open one and NA, but we've just been waiting for these international matchups all weekend here at the Kickoff Land live in Copenhagen. And finally, we're seeing some competition, and we're seeing North America really come to the party. If you're a European fan, there's only one person you can really point the finger at right now, and it's Johnny Boy. He has dead set cursed this region. They're not looking good at all.
Just about the crossbar, says he has to wait, and the fact that he didn't go gives the Chronic an in. The door is held open, and SSG, they will stroll through.
It's just too easy. This is a team that perfect swept pretty much Gen G, aside from an own goal from Exotic. You're not going to give Rise the credit with that wall pinch, but 3-0, a minute 10, Vitality, they're the team that's meant to be warm. They played today. They've already played a best of 5. Clearly it wasn't a good enough warm-up.
And SSG have just been sitting here waiting, seeing who they're going to be facing off against. So far, they'll be very happy. Reveal can get this one center. In fact, does not quite get there. And Diaz, that path of destruction is going to be continuing. Another demo in their favor. The central from Zen, high above the bar. Chronic will be tracking and stays cleverly behind it and pinches it away from Stizzy too. So far, a complete lack of control as Diaz sends another to the scrapyard.
Here's Exotic now, looking at control. Trying to find that 50. No one home here, though. And look at the pass plays coming through Space Station. So aggressive. Beautiful touch from Stizzy just to relieve a bit of pressure. Actually leaves them with a quick one-on-one. He's looking for that 50 middle. Looking to buy a challenge to open up the space for Vitality. But time and time again, it is Space Station just first to the ball. It feels like there's more of them on the pitch right now.
Yeah. And right now, Vitality's style where they want to swarm and be very awkward is not working, but the speed finally works its way through. The assist is from Zen. Enough speed to take it away from Chronic, then the second right past Diaz's nose.
Just as I say, look how many players Space Station Gaming have on the pitch. There's no one home in net. Little caster curse to get Vitality on the board. 2:53 left, still plenty of time. Just surprising that Vitality didn't look quite as ready in the first couple of minutes, considering they had already played. But here we go again, double 50 coming through, double save. Nice work.
And a big point Vitality is how do Stizzy and Exotic end up playing together? They're two teammates that have only just come together right at the start of this season. And Exotic's definitely had those moments where we've not necessarily enjoyed his positioning too much, neither has his teammates. In the last game, it felt like they got it worked out. This one, that's not been the problem for them. So a good point for Vitality. They've just got a different issue at the moment.
Now, I saw someone on social media as well saying he just needs to bind directional air roll, and that'll fix all his problems. So if he needs any help, look there, oh, that pitch just did. It's on the post, follow-up shot on net. Not quick enough. Space Station still showing how threatening that can be, even in the other end of the pitch. Vitality showing how threatening they can be, bumping them off the pitch, as that shot isn't even landing on net.
That's a clever pass there from Exotic. He forces the defender to jump. Unfortunately for him and for Vitality, there was no one there to get the rebound. Reveal, only man to it, pumps it back towards Vitality. Exotic with a catch, gets challenged. Absolutely sends it towards Zen. Backboard down, no one will get contact until it lands midfield from Diaz on target. It's a long shot, and it's an accurate one. The sniper from Reveal.
Yeah, well, I guess they thought minute 45 wasn't enough time. They went for it. Stizzy getting dusted by your man Diaz in net, showing the defensive prowess. Reveal the clean-up, open net end-to-end, 4-1. Probably game one.
Yeah, I mean, 100 seconds with 3 goals. By no means impossible, but certainly a tall order. Zen from the backboard wants to try and make a little bit of magic happen here. Does challenge with Diaz. We've seen the 50s going pretty much in favor of Space Station every time, with the odd exception, and then there's the last man there. Gets dusted by Diaz again, and I appreciate Vitality need to send it, but you can be more measured in your response. These demos will be opening up SSG's backside.
Yeah, well, they definitely do have to send it, because it is only a best of 5 as well. There's not really the one-game warm-up in a BO5. And certainly helped Redacted in the previous series, just looking fantastic. Don't have to worry about those game 4 woes that I saw last season. Here we go, minute left, still need 3, still time on the clock, but Space Station just keeping the ball out of harm's way, keeping the ball in this blue half would be absolutely luxurious for them right now, but Reveal just wants to pass it backwards. He might have assisted a second goal. He's just creaked that door open.
And you know what? Initially, I actually didn't hate this touch from Reveal. The issue is that Chronic isn't there to then get that clear away. It's not Chronic's fault. He doesn't anticipate it. But Reveal needs to know that Chronic is behind him to take it away. He gets it from Vitality, but then just gives it straight back to them. If anything, caught it too well.
I suppose any touch is good if your teammate's there, but unfortunately there was just
Depends
literally
who your teammate is, mate.
No one there, if only. It's 45 seconds. Can Vitality? It looks like they've woken up. There's one more chance. Another one-on-one low. 50. Beautiful save from Diaz. Second time we've seen him come up clutch.
And that was also Zen shooting low. The play that he should have gone for sure, because Diaz went for the in and out save. He's going to be positioned high in the net. In the end, it's lovely from Diaz. Keeps their lead. Zen cross top target. Chronic to clear, and Chronic for me was the man yesterday and is continuing that trend right now. Diaz, long shot, opposite side, guide her home. It's 5 for SSG.
Yeah, Diaz just on one in net. He has sat there, 20 boost, 30 boost, no boost. Doesn't matter for this man, for the Brazilian, looking fantastic. 5 goals against Vitality in game 1. You're taking that every day of the week and twice on Sundays. Luckily enough, today's Sunday.
Oh, hopefully for them, they can be taking it twice. That would put them just like 1 game off from facing against Carmine Corp in our semi-finals. But game 1, very clearly, going in favour of the fellas that have not yet played. And I sort of erred towards talking about Chronic earlier on. I was absolutely enamoured with his gameplay yesterday.
Serious, can we just bring us back on? No, there's something wrong with the camera. There is something wrong with that camera. I'm 6 foot. 5'11",
You're
but
5'11".
I'm 6 foot in the Southern Hemisphere.
You're 6 foot on social media,
5'11"
mate.
is progressive. That's what I say. Shout out to our sponsor for the RLCS.
This is not game 1.
But it's not game 1, but they've got another plug here. Here we go, Zen. Nice little fake. See if Vitality can get themselves back into it. No timeout needed. No one on the backboard, though, for Space Station. Luckily enough, your boy Chronic, he finds himself up there once again.
Genuinely, he hangs himself like a painting on the backboard. He's just always there. He's waiting. He's reliable. Reveal actually beats 2, but I don't think he quite expected to. Zen to the ceiling. Tries to go quick with it. Fakes out the reset, but is red. Sizzy gets revenge on Reveal. Gets rid of him. Kind of the full court air dribble, goes over towards Exotic in the corner. Sizzy to pick up, only 40 boost. Sees Zen, the 1-touch, the 2-touch, the bump is on, the shot is not.
Let's see if Vitality can grow a leg in game 2, and if they do, let me know where to find one. So I wouldn't mind being a little bit taller based on standing next to stop. Is that it, Charlie? It's just post, crossbar, ding dong ding, no, not even off the butt. There it is again. Oh my God, it's just like we've got the custom crossbar sounds. I'm watching a team stream on a Friday. Minute 10 in, Vitality cannot find the back of the net.
Devastating noise if you're a Vitality fan. All of them dented. And Space Station's ego is not. They keep it level. Look at these demos. Stizzy with a double, the low challenge. Exotic can't get it on target. Stizzy then flies in. This defense from SSG is stoic.
This is ridiculous. Space Station Gaming just keeping the scores level. Here is Reveal. Just take some time out of. I like this play from him. Just saw the space and said we need to just settle down. Vitality have had all the pressure. First minute 45 of game 2. Nice demo though. We'll open it up. Here is Zan, uses the flip, he rips it on net, it's just too powerful.
Even if you know he's about to musty this, it's so hard to read. He can angle and take it to a top corner. Instead, he goes heart of the net. Diaz gets a touch, credit to him. He has to dive within 0.1 of a second of Zen making contact. And Vitality, they earn themselves a lead.
I just love when Zen gets a reset early in the air dribble, and then he just looks at the opponent and says, where do you want it? And waits for the challenge, waits for the commit. And in the end, just too much time to set up that musty flick. Huge play from Zen. First goal is exactly what they need. Exactly what the doctor ordered. Here is Diaz, just popping it up. The man who has scored the only goal of this game too, trying to clear the ball, but Space Station, I still like they don't seem too bothered when they are conceded upon and trying to get to work here.
A very proactive team of Space Station Gaming. We saw it at the end of the first one. They were making sure that they continue to attack no matter what ended up befalling their defense. It's another that with 100, but a very quick challenge from Reveal. And look at how closely positioned Diaz, this shadow, is.
Reset, Stizzy over the top actually instead. Diaz has 100 boost. We want to try and get back to this. Zen goes early just to avoid the bump. Can he get himself with the last man? He gets around everyone, 1v2, doing everything, and that's his second.
Looking a little bit like older Vitality here, not initial Vitality, but the resets take it below 1, then into the bottom corner, beats out 2 players. And I do want to see Stizzy and Exotic getting more involved, because that's when Vitality really peak.
And this is the problem. Every now and then when you're playing Vitality, you just get a Zen legacy game. We're seeing it right here. 2 individual goals from this man. He's looking for more. Reset. He's just got a bit of aura about him at the moment. Space Station floundering in defense when he's on the ball. Diaz is able to fake one. Here is Zen. Can he find a pass? Has a 50 left. He knows Exotic's there. He doesn't find the boost, though. Beautiful touch from Stizzy. Just keeping the pace up. Keeping Space Station pinned with 1:45 on the clock.
And on this 2-minute mark now and 100 seconds remaining towards that right-hand wall. Zen skims it, reckons he's talk. No, thank you, says SSG, and they will be defending it away. But Stizzy, the instant dive in. Chronic intelligently back central, and it really is, again, wonderful defense. Aggressive play, in fact, towards the other side of the pitch.
Here is Diaz. Oh, there's some nice bumps. Beautiful fake from him as well as Stizzy had to reach for that one. Did well to the reset. Still low boost. Zen wanted in. So did Reveal. 2 members of Vitality in the corner. It looks awkward. They're not quite set up for this play. Zen just keeping it close, keeping it slow with 1 minute left. Just need to kill time now, not overcommit. I'd like to see some demos come through for Space Station here.
You need to break this wall at the back with only 60 seconds remaining. We're seeing Vitality start to galvanize somewhat. They're looking a lot stronger than they did previously. Nicely central, and Vera's going to be diving in. Exotic with no boost and a miss. Space Station, unfortunately for them, they do not take that signal as a chance for them to move in play.
Here we go. Oh, what a shot from Reveal! Banger! A timely one as well, 40 seconds left. It was just off the bar. The ceiling created an angle, just pinned Vitality off the bar. You can see Stizzy going back as well out of position. Top left, open, beautiful.
126 kilometers an hour off the corner of his car, just at the 12-yard box. Wonderful play. 30 seconds now. Stizzy wants to keep Vitality in this. Space Station Gaming need that one more. A long launch from Reveals, then with great contact and great catch. But you see the pressure now starting to build. The Space Station Gaming see their time ticking away.
Yeah, only 20 seconds. In the wrong end too. Here is Reveal. Zen challenging, just wants to keep Space Station pinned. Off the ceiling with a nice pitch as Diaz back in time he is, but he has no boost. He has lost the ball. Reveal, rips it up, reset, he's gone low. One last chance for Space Station. Stizzy just shuts the door on that and throws it on net, has missed. Hang on, wait a second, Diaz beats one. Chronic's underneath, the pop down's enough. Vitality tied up. Get out of here. You got any special comments? You done? You nothing? Nothing from you?
I'm out of here.
Okay, that's it.
Nice of you to join us, mate. See in a bit.
Not too happy with Zen's game too. Wants to see Space Station back on top. Wants Johnny Boy to keep gloating about EU to give some bad luck to the Europeans. There's a shot off the rip. Game 3, not to be. 10 seconds in. I like the pass though. Out of transition from Space Station. Just getting squandered, getting shut down too early.
Oh, great play though from Diaz. Caesar ends up diving in, but Diaz really made that horrible for Vitality. Bumping off the backboard and a complete miss. Zen shoots it straight into the flying defender who just needed to get a body in the way.
Nice block coming through. Stizzy, top right. It's not on. That crossbar has just, geez, it's had a workout. Here's Zen. Back corner. Has had his boost stolen. Like the play from Space Station. They're just trying to bait them in a little bit defensively, which can get to work.
Yeah, perfect example of that as well. Slowing down the play. Just right now, they're not really able to work out of their own half. But I like the idea to try and control the pace of this game. Vitality, they want to play fast and rapid. They want to bamboozle you. Good pinch towards the ceiling. It took Vitality a second to get there, but they do become the benefactors of this ball. Chronic completely dusts Exotic to that one, but doesn't really do too much with it. And Zen can continue on the warpath.
This feels a little harder right now for Space Station to play the game they want to play when the passes are coming in off the bar. What a pop! Coming through, was that reveal underneath? Here is Zen, reset, one more. He's dropping it down. They're looking for the close passes. They're playing so high up, but it's left them completely wide open down the other end. What are you doing, Vitality?
It's that full court dribble from Diaz in the corner. Stizzy is so far up. It can work if you have the ability to get back quickly. And he absolutely did not. Brilliant play. The outpace from that one man. And 1 minute 30, an SSG lead. This is how game one started, and they score 5 more.
That's shades of ninjas in pajamas from the last game. They're frustrated, they're overcommitting, they're just sitting too high and perhaps thinking they should be winning this. They're the better team, Vitality, at least in their own minds. You can see that with Stizzy. He's just way too aggressive. He wasn't respecting the defense of Space Station Gaming, which so far, at least in game one in particular, was absolutely fantastic. And I've cursed him again because they've given him a freebie.
I think both teams are pushed up so far that if you can get a convincing play on target, and if your third man just has a little dive in, then you may well find yourselves 1 goal the better. Exotic. It's good vision from him, and just 30 seconds later, you got your head in your hands. What happened?
It's just got to be frustrating for XP. You get a free goal from Vitality, as it looks like we're going to get a pause here. Diaz is not moving, unless it's a new strategy I haven't seen yet. We do
the AF kickoff.
AF kickoff. Are we? Oh,
yeah.
No, we're getting straight back in the game. I'll tell you what, the caster booth is filling up. People want to get involved, so we'll see if we can.
People are hanging out over here. It's great.
I'm pretty sure T-Base wants to let us know how good Zen is again, so we'll have to get him back in. That'll be good to see, but here we go. Resuming game 3. 3 minutes left. 1-1. 2 open nets, 2 end-to-end open nets.
I think also we're going to be seeing that with both of these teams, I think that the coach talk won't be particularly revolutionary. It will just be, boys, let's just settle. Let's get back to where we were. Let's not change the game by any means. Let's just be us. But it's a nice reminder mid-game.
Stizzy does have low boost. If you want to reset, he might have faked him out. Diaz underneath does well. Reinforces the Space Station defense. Nice double from Chronic. Can you find one more if he can get a bump as well? Zen realizes the danger, helps out.
Yeah, Stizzy, he jumps, sees the Chronic's diving across, and Zen calls him off and himself onto the ball. I love that play. Great heads up from the man. Chronic is going to be getting the pass midfield, straight to Diaz, straight to the top corner.
You can see the pop-off in the player cams as well. It's beautiful. He faked the extra touch. And instead of Diaz waiting for the pass, he just joined him. He met him at the drop zone of the ball, completely faking him out. He could see that looking across the Chronic. The chemistry's there from the new team.
The chemistry is wonderful with Space Station Gaming right now. This time, the other way around. Diaz gets the initial kickoff, ends up going just past it to lose it to the back left position, and Chronic with an incredibly close, trusted cheat. 2 goals clear now for SSG.
I'm now wondering whether Diaz was hyping up Chronic or planning the kickoff strat for that very kickoff. 2 goals assisted for the new duo, the dynamic duo of Space Station, Chronic Diaz. Reveal able to just lock it down the other end, but can they lock it down when Zen has a free backboard? Doesn't get the drop. It's a beautiful clearance instead, and it's wide open. Vitality do not have a defense.
Who was the third man that dived in here? Because Zen fakes it out. Stizzy is, regardless of the bump, he's too far up.
He's way too far up.
Reveal scores Stizzy in his own net, and then it's just a nice little dribble down the other end for Diaz. That was, again, frankly, horrible positioning from Stizzy.
It's hard to hit the ball into the net when you're already in the net yourself, which is, I think, something he's got to figure out.
He's not got the plunger power up. He can't pull it in after him.
Oh, that's 5! It's game 1, rinse and repeat.
It has been 3 goals back-to-back-to-back off these kickoffs. The Chronic Diaz duo looking like Stizzy and Exotic from yesterday out there.
They are way, way, way too aggressive here. And Space Station know they're going to bite. They're going to challenge. So throw the ball off the sidewall. Beat them with pace yourself. You know where the ball's going. They can dictate the game right now. Reveal. Can he find one more? He's going to fake it instead. Stizzy up top, but there's 4 goals, 90 seconds. Vitality. They don't look good at all.
Yeah, we thought earlier on there was a minute and a half. They had to bring back 3. They got 1 more to beat from the full map ball. Zen wanting to Diaz on Diaz. And of course, is unable to. The defense from Space Station Gaming still looking sensational. Exotic with a pre jump opposite corner. And with 3 defenders, you are not squeezing it through.
Yeah, we pumped up Diaz and Chronic. That was Reveal flying across net, just getting the redirect, hitting it to the corner, into safety. Chronic with space. See even Zen here going for a pre-jump. They're playing some tilted Rocket League right now, Vitality. They're not looking good. The boys on Space Station have got them absolutely covered right now. 50 seconds left. Still 4 goals. Reveal wants 1 more.
Hey, where was this Space Station Gaming yesterday in the Grand Finals? This is incredible game of Rocket League. Space Station Gaming absolutely leading the charge. Exotic gets rid of Chronic, and you know what, mate? It doesn't matter, because Diaz is still on the pitch.
Yeah, I think that there's one guy on the pitch that would like a Brazil more than anyone else. It's the Brazilian himself. 39 seconds left, 1 more required. They are making Vitality look second-rate right here, Stumpy Goblin.
I mean, game 1 Vitality did go down by quite a wide margin of goals. They scored 2 more than they have in this game. And then they managed to bring it back in a tight game 2. This is a return to form from SSG. Really extraordinary. 30 seconds, the Brazil is on! And who else to score it but Diaz?
It's party time for North America. T-Bates is just giggling next to me right now. Space Station have Team Vitality Braziled on Champ Sunday.
It's Brazil squared. And Space Station Gaming have this game squared away. 2-1 in the series. 1 more, and they move through for the honor of playing against Carmine Corp.
This is ridiculous. Simply ridiculous. Vitality have lost their heads. And Space Station look like they've got 2 each. They've doubled their brains, they've doubled the IQ. They're looking fantastic. 10 seconds, maybe 1 more. As I mentioned, party time. It's not series over for sure, and we know that Vitality can come back. We know the caliber of player they have on that team. But this is looking off. This is a North American day.
Just, everyone's coming over and hanging out during this series. That is quite frankly a belter. We move to the Coliseum. 1 more for SSG and Vitality. They need to buck their ideas up.
Well, how do you stop this? You've just been Braziled against the kids, against the confidence. The boys that, if they do get confident, look unbeatable. We know their top form is near the best form of RLCS 2026 so far. How does Vitality respond?
We've seen a couple of chances as well for Vitality where they set their teammates up. That's one that's going to be on target, but Chronic can just about work his way home. And there's been a couple of set-up chances, and that 3rd man hasn't quite come in unless it's Stizzy. On the off chance that he does, he moves a little bit too far forward on plays that he shouldn't do. It's a hard balance to get. Stizzy leaves it for Exotic, who just gives that control back, and 2 wait on the backboard. I'm sorry, fellas, you are not going to get goals from the backboard. They have got it covered.
Here's Exotic, gets 1, gets 2, finds the bump, but Reveal gets a touch. All important into the corner. And look at this, you can still see Vitality biting on challenges. They're playing angry Rocket League, it looks at the moment. They don't want to be baited in by this Space Station Gaming team, but time and time again, they're winning out in these little mental battles.
I mean, the pressure they've got so far doesn't matter. It all comes to naught as Chronic, goal 1, manages to ground pinch it past 2.
And Exotic just passed it to him in the corner. He rolled the ball up the wall for him and said, you can have it if you want. Chronic said, thank you very much. Oh, 1v3 off the ceiling. Ground pinch bottom right. Goodness me, Space Station. They are looking better than ever, and their better has been pretty good.
And there is a good amount of pressure coming from Vitality too. It must be frustrating to not have it pay off. And it's post into post again. The crossbar was teased. It was not satisfied. Vitality, bring it back.
They needed that. If Zen couldn't find the back of the net, if they couldn't close out this opportunity, that could have been game over instead. Plenty of time. They tie it up, give themselves a look back into the series.
We've seen this before. Vitality did this in the previous game. It's a nice kickoff. Zen has ball and boost. And then Space Station and Diaz, who scored 6 more goals. So they need that not to happen again. If you're a Vitality fan, a demo from Zen gets rid of 1. Pass 2, Exotic, top corner, no contact made.
Now let's see what happened here. I mean, Exotic just got a little bit of space to work with, and Chronic going up the back wall gets completely removed. They trusted his touch, they trusted the defense. We need to see more of that from Vitality. The problem is, previously, Stumpy, it's been their third man being on the back wall looking for a bump. They need to just commit the top two.
These demos now, they're going to be ever more important. It's Vitality, if they can make it into these 2v3s, they'll feel a lot more comfortable. Space Station feel like they're everywhere right now. At the back, Stizzy wants to threaten to make a touch, but Zen fancied it all himself. Zen was absolutely the better play there. The carry finds it towards the left-hand wall. A bump again from Zen. Physicality certainly being the story in the Coliseum.
Here is Chronic. He's actually going to leave it for Diaz. He just pops it up. Won't trouble Vitality's defense too much. Zen leaves it for Stizzy. It's now Chronic. Dodges the bump. Gets it over the top of Zen. Finds a touch backwards. The extra is huge for Exotic. The demo will help out as well. Vitality will play a bit of roundabout defense at the moment. Up one end, down the other. Oh, maybe a touch, no. Stands right there. Exotic off the wall, just manages to find his way up.
And there's been 4 games so far, and Space Station Gaming have doubled the amount of goals that Vitality do. It is 7 for Vitality and 14 for SSG.
Now, we have seen this before, though. We have seen Space Station put in 2 of the most dominant games against Vitality at EWC and then lose the series, even though they scored 100 more goals than them. So, if you're a Space Station fan, you want to see a repeat. That was open. How did Zen not realise? Oh, yeah, he looked so open. It looked like it was missing. There's still a chance, perhaps not to be. Diaz walks his way out, and Chronic's finding a bump with a reset. He's got over the top of Zen. It's off the backboard. Nobody's there!
Should have been 3-1. Zen did not anticipate the miss. He was 1 car length away from getting that convincing lead, and Diaz shuts down Exotic, sends him groundward, and Reveal can follow up.
We were watching that. We looked at each other at Zen, because he's not got that off the backboard, but seemed like the only person that didn't realise was Zen. And we've got to get another pause here. Controller's down.
I'm confident that one won't count, but we're going to have to see what the admins have to say about it. 50 to play. SSG on the cusp of a semi-final.
The best of 5 could absolutely be working in Space Station's favour. Vitality needs to get to work. No second chances off the kickoff, off the rim, almost. If that was in, Exotic decided to set up camp in there to set it to 1v2, a 2v1. The bump lands, but Exotic's missed the shot, and the follow-up is just wedged off the bar. Vitality getting chances, squandering all of them.
I'm sorry, I don't know why Exotic doesn't just hit that on target. That's a goal. Zen's bumping. Just go on target. That's a tilter. Zen now wants to do it all himself. That's straight down. Who's Zen next? Chronic on the backboard, as I said, the man to be there. Diaz dives in front of net. The defense from SSG stays
Beautiful
solid.
save. Look at this on the counter-attack. Reveal has a reset. He just baits Exotic in. Zen has 0 boost. They're still in hundreds. Space Station with a chance to capitalise, perhaps. Look at the low boost coming in. They're trying to play slow. It was only Stizzy with boost, and he got demoed. It's now Chronic looking to control in the corner. Vitality keeping up this aggression. It hasn't quite worked so far, but they think it will eventually.
Yeah, wanted the second touch there, did Zen. Wasn't able to get it. In the middle, Stizzy committing, not quite as far as maybe he wanted to. Attempted a skim on target. 40 seconds now, ticking down, revealing to his own back corner. A bump, a chance, a fake. Zen leaves it for Stizzy, who is not present.
There's just no communication. He could have gone for the shot himself, would have been tougher, but it is Zen after all. Was low boost, but Stizzy, for the first time this whole series, Stumpy, wasn't in Space Station Gaming's net. Wasn't crept up, wasn't pushed up. Still a chance, still perhaps a shot. Reveal throws himself at it. Diaz right there. Reveal actually gets 2. Space Station hanging on, but it's only by a thread for now.
SSG completely shutting down every chance Vitality find. Chronic with 1 chance central, goes up high for Diaz. In the back corner, Sis now needs to time waste. Then he wants to keep it up, he does. He's got ambitions, and Chronic shuts them down. Overtime, SSG, 1 more goal, and a date with KC is on the cards.
This could completely break Vitality. There's the shot. Diaz will be back. He looked calmer than perhaps I was in that situation. Throws it across. Zen is leaning. He goes back corner, but he doesn't have the support right now. There's the shot, double save, huge 50 coming through from Stizzy. They don't look comfortable at all, no. Vitality. They don't look like the experienced team that we should see, and they're all over each other.
They don't look comfortable on defense, they don't look comfortable on offense, they barely look comfortable in their chairs. SSG, this is their chance to strike. Do not let Vitality back into this series.
Here's Chronic, leaves it for Diaz. The 6-goal man, the double hat-trick man from game 3. Reveal now on the ball. Can he get 2? 50 with Zen. Stizzy underneath the slow play. Actually works. He dodges the bump. Can he get 2 on it? He goes to the reset, throws it on. Not to be in a huge save. Chronic just keeps it out. Pops off the post. Allows Diaz to clear downfield.
Stizzy's going to be the man. Rather Exotic, in fact, is going to be taking the time to clear that ball away, only as far as Reveal. Exotic nearly bumped out the way, then with a lot of boost in, and Diaz misses. If he can get it on target, the bomb is successful! And somehow, so is the save! And then Diaz, full court, gets shut down by Exotic. Reveal's chance, bottom corner, Exotic again!
He's nearly soloed, just completely defense to offense. Here he is again, Diaz. Nobody to the crossbar. Stizzy has to jump, has to get the touch. Goes to get himself.
Solo.
Counterattack, reset, blocked out, reinforcement, space station. It is pandemonium on Utopia.
Zen calls Exotic off, then misses it himself. Ends up going high. Tries to do something with this ball. Finally, Vitality have some pressure. Exotic challenging, Chronic has nothing, so another player ends up diving in, Reveal a pinch. Zen, 1 to beat. He doesn't manage to do so. Stizzy doesn't manage to do anything with it either. Vitality, they continue to be uncomfortable. No one's there until Zen.
Stizzy and Exotic just cannot hit the ball. Zen to the corner. He's got no boost. It's Chronic with 30. Himself, post!
There it is!
3-1 SSG!
Station gaming that everyone else was talking about, because Chronic, you guys are looking good.
Definitely feeling better than yesterday, that's for sure.
Yeah, well, that's what I wanted to bring that up, so I'm glad you moved us there. Obviously not the matchup you wanted in the grand finals yesterday. Shopify Rebellion kind of had your number, and people were questioning what went on there, so maybe you can give us some insight.
We've been feeling super incredible this whole tournament, and I think we've been playing our play style really well and all been playing individually really well. And we started that game 1 pretty slow. I missed a few pretty easy chances, and it kind of just spiraled from there. We lost a lot of confidence and just like didn't play the play style that we've been playing this whole time.
Right.
So it turned out to be a pretty bad series on our part.
I feel like that's easy, though, to kind of get in your own head and let that continue into the next days. Do you get worried that that's going to follow you to the next day, and how do you reset?
Usually, yeah, but we went back to our practice room after the loss yesterday, had a really long talk, and it was really productive, and we just know that if we play really well, there's not many teams in the world who can beat us, so stay confident.
And you guys are making a point of that right now. For you, it felt like a nice, smooth series. You just let Diaz do everything?
Yeah, he was incredible. I think he dropped almost 1,000 points in game 3 or whatever it was.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, I think he had 6 of the goals in there too. Oh, that was nuts. But of course, the whole team is looking good. You can't just win with one player, especially against a team like Vitality. Now that you've seen them, I heard you're doing good in scrims. How do you feel about the European region in whole and your confidence against them? Because K-Corp is going to be up next.
I think K-Corp's the one team we haven't scrimmed yet at this time, so I'm curious to see how that'll go, but we're pretty confident against any team in the world right now.
Oh, you said confident. I was going to say, are you nervous, though? Because, those are still the big bads usually, right?
I mean, I'm always a little bit nervous for series, but that's what makes it fun, so.
Hey, no, that's good. I guess overall to the SSG fans and the watch party, I mean, you're keeping Chief Beef on edge over there. He was doing push-ups for you at one point. Let them know that you were confident. That, say it to their face, you are confident you're going the distance.
Chief Beef, we're confident we're going the distance.
There it is. Good luck in your future matches,
Thank
man.
you, I appreciate it.